Hi and welcome to yet another video review. And today it's the G-Shock Mudmaster GWG-100. I would say a younger brother of the GWG-1000 Mudmaster, with a bit less options and capabilities, but not to be underestimated. When it comes to style, it has almost same inner glossy bezel like GWG-1000, but it fits better on this watch than on its bigger brother. And what I also like is the back color of these subdials. It's more readable and better looking if you ask me. The subdial at 3 o'clock is a cool feature too. Like its big brother, the GWG-1000, and unlike the GG-1000, the GWG-100 is equipped with tough solar power and multi-band 6 radio timekeeping. Unlike those other two Mudmaster lines, the GWG-100 does not have any environmental sensors. Feature includes shock resistance 200 meters, water resistance, mud and dust resistance, world time, 1/100th of a second stopwatch, countdown timer, and full auto double LED neon illuminator and super illuminator light. All three models have silver buckle and resin strap keepers. The dimensions of the watch are 56.2 times 54.9 and 17.3 millimeters in thickness, which is similar to the GG-1000 and smaller than the GWG-1000. This Mudmaster looks to be a good option for those who want the tough look and roughness of the GWG-1000, but in smaller and more affordable version, and prefer a solar and radio powered model over the GG-1000 Mudmaster with twin sensor. A distinguishing feature of this watch is the full auto double LED light with both the neon illuminator for the hands and markers and the super illuminator for the LCD displays, versus the standard double LED light of the GWG-1000 and the sole super illuminator of the GG-1000. Let's get through some basic functions and features of this watch. First thing I'm gonna show you is the move the hands out of the way mode, and that's pretty common on this modern day G-Shock. So to perform that operation, hold down the mode button for about 2 seconds. And also a cool feature is this subdial at 3 o'clock, and as I mentioned it earlier, the hands segment or this part of the display is lit up so you know the hands are out of the way. By pressing the mode button again for 2 seconds, the watch returns to the standard timekeeping mode. Use the timekeeping mode to set and view the current time and date, and each press of the adjust button is shuffling through the various representations of these subdials. Of course, the analog hands represent the time, but each press of this adjust button rotates between the functionalities of the subdial. So what is the first one? Well, you can rotate between the time and date format by pressing the adjust button. Here is the date and the day. Pressing it again, day, month and seconds, and pressing it again shows the time and seconds. Moving on to the watch functions. You can shuffle the functions through the timekeeping mode by pressing the mode button over here, and first option is the world time mode, and this is the world time or the currently selected secondary time zone on this watch, and this is the representation of what time is it at this time zone. Next press moves us to the stopwatch function. Pressing it again moves us to the timer mode. Next press to the alarm mode, and pressing it again, higher pitch of the sound gets us to the standard timekeeping mode. Also a cool feature is this, as I said in my earlier segment, is this subdial at 3 o'clock, and previously it showed hands, but you can illuminate or let's say point or turn on the segments of the display various on the functions that you're using. So if your alarm is turned on, the line will show up here also for the signal and the mute options. Well, that would be all for this short review. This watch receives a time calibration signal and updates its settings accordingly. However, when using the watch outside of the areas covered by time calibration signals, you will have to adjust the settings manually as required. Now, what does this multi-band 6 on a band mean? Well, it means that the watch can receive the radio calibration signals from all the 6 towers around the world. And what are the basic features? Even when the watch is within the range of transmitter, signal reception may be impossible due to the effects of the geographic contour structures, weather, the time of year, the time of the radio interference. The signal becomes weaker at a distance of approximately 500 kilometers. And what are those obstacles? Well, inside of a building, you will have problems receiving the signal when the watch is inside a building, inside a vehicle, near household appliances, near construction sites, airports, near high tension power lines, or among or behind the buildings. How to get ready for receive operation? The antenna of the watch is located at the 12 o'clock. And position the watch with 12 o'clock facing towards a window, and I'm going to show you the illustration that Casio made on its manual. Signal reception is normally better at night, and the receive operation takes from 3 to 8 minutes, but in some cases it can take as long as 16 minutes. Do not perform any operation while the signal procedure is enabled or it's in the mode. The watch will auto-receive its signal basically from time to time, so you can calibrating. It's gonna calibrate the time on the watch. How to perform the manual receive of the time in the timekeeping mode, and we are currently in the timekeeping mode. Hold down this search button until the watch beeps, and there it is. A signal level indicator appears after the reception starts. Do not move the watch or perform any operation until GET or GET or ERR appears. And over here is the signal level indicator. If the receive operation is successful, the reception date and time will appear. The watch will return to the timekeeping mode. Also, if you press the this search button over here, or if you do not perform any button operation for about 1 or 2 minutes. If the current reception fails but the previous reception within the last 24 hours was successful, RCVD or end error will be displayed. What's there else to say? Well, I'm gonna say about a few things about this signal level indicator, and here is the scale over here about and here is the error, and I know why it's that there's an error, because it's I'm inside the building, and basically it's almost impossible for me to receive a signal. But I'm gonna show this graphic or how to interpret the signal strength. As you watch the indicator, keep the watch in a location that's best maintains stable reception, and that's my problem. Even under optimum reception conditions, it can take about 10 seconds to reception to stabilize. Solar charging or the rechargeable battery or the solar panels on this watch. Well, there are solar panels on this watch, meaning that your battery is rechargeable, and basically it has a continuous or the infinite lifespan. What are the key features about the solar charging? Well, theoretically your battery should last forever, but key thing to know that this watch has or the battery has some power levels, actually 5 power levels, and it's indicated on this subdial at 6 o'clock. Low, medium, and high. So currently my battery level is at high, and when I received the watch it was on medium. Left it on a window for about, I don't know, about couple of hours, and it turned to the high. So here are the battery level indicators over here, and on the first 2 levels, that's the high and medium, all functions are enabled. When the battery is showing the low, Auto and manual receive illumination beeper are disabled, except for the timekeeping mode. All the other modes are disabled. When it comes to the lever 4, this subdial over here will show the C, H, and G indicating to charge the watch. All functions and display indicators disabled except for timekeeping and display of this subdial over here. And when the battery is at the 5th level, all functions are disabled, so there will be not even this subdial will work. So those are the power levels. Of course, when you want to charge the watch, you can I'm gonna put in this table so you can see how long does it take for watch to charge from one level to a next. And there's also a power saving mode on this watch. When enabled, power saving enters a sleep state automatically whenever the watch is left for a certain period in the area when it's dark. And this table is I'm gonna show you, shows how what is the lifespan or time span should pass for watch to get into the certain power saving mode. Configuring current time and date settings manually. Whilst in the standard timekeeping mode, hold down the adjust button for about 2 seconds until adjust is shown on this subdial over here, and it was shown. And the first option is setting the home city settings. How to set the home city settings? Well, currently it's on the Paris time zone, so to shuffle between the time zones, use these two buttons over here to rotate the city time code table. And you get the principle. You can shuffle between the old time zones, but I'm gonna leave it at the Paris time zone. Next step would be setting the daylight saving time, and to enter the mode, press the mode button, and daylight saving time DST is flashing. So to turn it, to shuffle between auto on or off, sorry, press the search button over here, and I'm gonna leave it at auto. Those would be the basics of setting the home city settings and daylight saving time mode. Moving on to the next function, pressing the mode button again shuffles us to the 12 or 24-hour time format. By pressing the search button, I'm gonna shift it to 24-hour time format. Next press moves us to setting the seconds value, and pressing the search button will reset the seconds to 0. Next press of the mode button gets us to setting of the hour value, and pressing these two will increase or decrease the value of hours. The procedure is the same for minutes. The year setting over here, so this on this button. Next press gets us to the month setting. Procedure is the same. These two increase or decrease the value. And the next press of the mode button gets us to setting the day value. Procedure is exactly the same as the previous. Next press of the mode button gets us to different operation, and that is the button operation tone. Is it on or off? And by pressing this button over here, I can mute it, and it will be shown also on this subdial over here. I'm gonna leave the key or the button operation tone on. Next press gets us to the illumination duration, and I can shuffle between 1 and 3. 1 stands for 1.5 seconds screen illumination duration, and 3 stands for 3 seconds duration of illumination. I'm gonna leave it at 1. And next press of the mode button gets us to power saving. Is the power saving on or off? Press the search button to rotate between on or off. I'm gonna leave it at on. And again, pressing the mode button gets us back to the beginning and setting the time zone. So we have basically ran through the cycles of setting the watch. Once you're done with all the settings and the settings the way you want, press the adjust button to return to the standard timekeeping mode. Hence, we'll also get back to this showing the time or the current time in your time zone. And those would be the basics of setting the time and date manually on this watch. Using the world time mode on this GWG-100 is done like this. From the standard timekeeping mode, press the mode button once, and to enter the world time mode. You can use the world time mode to view the current time in one of the 31 time zones, so 48 cities around the globe. The city that is currently selected in the world time mode is called the world time city. WT was indicated on this subdial when I first entered the world time mode. How to shuffle between the values of the city code. So use this button over here, search button, to scroll through the cities or one of the 48 cities or 28 time zones. Let's say I'm gonna go to the I don't know, Paris is my time zone, so let's say Cairo. There is the Cairo, and that's the time in the Cairo, and that's your secondary time zone. Basically, those would be the basics of the watch. There's also a cool option for you to swap the home time and the world time. In the world time mode, use this button over here to select a time zone, and we have selected the time zone. And to swap those time zones, hold down the these two buttons over here, so the left up top and the right up top button, and for this at the same time until the watch beeps, and you will rotate the so your world time city becomes your home city, and vice versa. That's a cool option for the frequent flyers when using this option. Using the stopwatch measures elapsed time, split times, and two finishes. To enter the stopwatch mode, press down the mode button once, sorry, not once, but from the standard timekeeping mode, press it twice, and the STW will indicate on this subdial over here. These are the minutes indicators, so the first row zeros, the second row indicates the seconds, and these are 1/100 of a seconds. How to perform an elapsed time operation: press down the lower left or the search button to start, stop, and adjust button to reset the value. How to pause at a split time: press the search button to start, adjust button to split, SPL is the split, again split release, stop, and reset the value. How to measure the two finishes: press the start button, press the adjust button to split, stop, second runner finishes, and the previous press of the adjust button is the first runner finishes, and it displayed the time of the first runner. Again, adjust button to split release and reset the value of the stopwatch. Those would be the basics of the stopwatch mode on this watch. Using the countdown timer on GWG-100, the countdown timer can be set within a range of 1 minute to 100 minutes. An alarm sounds when the countdown timer reaches 0. To enter the countdown timer, I'm gonna keep pressing the mode button until the TMR stands in the lower subdial. So once, twice, and 3 presses of the mode gets us to the timer settings or the timer mode. What are these numbers over here? So the first row numbers is the minutes, and the second one is the seconds. To specify the countdown timer start time, hold down the adjust button until the settings of the watch is enabled, and currently the minutes are flashing, so use these two buttons over here to increase or decrease the value of the countdown timer. Let's say I want to keep it at 10, but I want to increase the value of seconds. Press the mode button, and blinking shuffles to the seconds. So I can again use these two buttons to increase or decrease the value. And once we are done, press the adjust button to set the value. So currently my timer value is 10 minutes. How to perform a countdown timer operation: press the search button to start the counting down, again the same button to stop it, and to resume it, to stop it, and adjust button to reset the value. So those would be the basics of the countdown timer on this Mudmaster. Using the alarm, you can set 5 independent alarms. When an alarm is turned on, an alarm tone will sound for about 10 seconds each day when the time in the timekeeping mode reaches the alarm time. This is true even if the watch is not in the timekeeping mode. You can also enable an hourly time signal, which will cause the watch to beep twice every hour on the hour. How to enter the alarm mode? Well, press the mode button, and pressing the mode button until the ALM shows on this indicator over here, and this indicator will shuffle between the value. So this is the, let's say, alarm 1 through 5. This is the is it on or off, and the mode name also ALM, that would rotate in the beginning of this when I first enter the alarm mode. In the alarm mode, use the search button over here to scroll between the alarms. So they are alarm 2, 3 to 5, and hourly time signal. How to set the value of the alarm? Let's say alarm 1. Hold down the adjust button, and we have flashing of the hour values, and also on this sub-dial at 3 o'clock ALM quadrant is lit up, so that means the alarm is automatically turned on. How to increase or decrease the value of the alarm setting? Use these two buttons to increase or decrease the value of hours. Once you are done, pressing the mode button shuffles to setting of the minutes value, and again use these two buttons to increase or decrease the value of minutes. And how to enter the enable the alarm, press the adjust button, and currently we have set the time at midnight, and the alarm 1 is turned on, and my hand is currently over this window of the alarm, but I believe the camera can catch it. There's a quadrant lit up over here, and it says it's on. In the alarm mode, how to toggle between the alarm, is it alarm on or off? Press the adjust button once, and you can shuffle between the option, is alarm on or off. So previously I turned it on automatically when I was setting it, but now by pressing the adjust button I turned it off. Let's go to the hourly time signal, and the hourly time signal is set to beep twice at exactly every hour. So pressing the adjust button, I turned it on, and this quadrant over here is lit up. I don't know if you can see it, but I believe you can. There it is, right beneath this minute hand. Sorry, I have the I'm so lucky that when I'm doing this video, the minute hand is exactly over the these two indicators, but you get the point. Once it's set, I'm gonna turn it off by pressing the adjust button, and once everything is set the way you want, press the mode button to return to the standard timekeeping mode. And we are nearing this review to a completion by showing you how to turn the auto illumination on or off. The auto illumination is the function of this watch to automatically turn the illumination when you flick your wrist with your watch on it, and it will illuminate the screen so you have a better view to the current time and date settings. Not only settings, but to view the current time and date. How to enable the auto light switch? In the timekeeping mode, hold down this light button for about 3 seconds to toggle auto light switch between enabled or disabled, and it currently LT over here is shown that this marker over here is filled up this sub-dial, and it currently represents that the auto illumination is turned on. The auto light switch indicator appears in all modes while the auto light switch is enabled. The auto light switch becomes disabled automatically when your battery power drops to level 4. How to turn it off? Well, the procedure is the same. Hold down the light button for about 3 seconds, and there it is, it's missing, so the auto light switch is turned off. That would be another watch review or detailed watch review on all the functions and features of this watch. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Please do leave a like and subscribe for my channel to see more watch content. Thanks.